So this is just about yourself and coming to your roles and responsibilities. So whatever roles here I am including, those roles will be covered in our future classes. Okay. So those roles will be part, syllabus for our next classes. The first one is experience in understanding business requirements. Okay, experience in understanding business requirement, which contains any kind of documentation. Okay, we have like BRS documentation, we have like software requirement specifications, we have like functional specification. So this is your first point. The next one, experience in designing or identifying test scenarios. Test scenarios is nothing but let's say if you wanted to validate a mobile, for that mobile, the test scenarios is like, so once validate whether power button is working or not. That is one scenario. Validate, you can able to install the software or not, one scenario. And validate whether you can able to call to some recipient, some user or not. And the fourth one, validate whether you can able to pick the incoming calls or not. And the next one, validate whether you can able to SMS to some user in your directory or not. So these all are the scenarios. Experience in identifying test scenarios and convert them into test cases. Okay, this is your job role. We will explain how to identify test scenarios and how to write test cases. So these all will be explained in our future classes. And the next one is proficient in SDLC models and agile methodology. So today class we will be discussing on this topic, methodologies. Okay. Next fourth point is, because these all are your roles and responsibilities. Daily you are working on these roles. The fourth one, experience in performing or conducting functional testing or manual testing by applying or by using software test design techniques. So yesterday we have seen software test design techniques. Day 2. So these are the software test design techniques. By using these techniques, we will be creating test cases. That is what we have included in this. Experience in performing functional testing by using software test design techniques. Fifth point. Involved in preparation of test plan and test strategy. Okay. So we will explain what is test plan and test strategy in our next class. What is next one? Hands-on experience in logging defects. Logging in the sense just registering the defects in tools like HP, ALM, Jira. These all are these two also two defect tracking tools. Okay. The seventh point. Good at writing and executing SQL queries. Eighth one, experience in test management tools. Test management tool like same HP, ALM and Jira. Okay, so these all are your roles and responsibilities. This is a part and parcel of your job roles. You have to do each day your daily activities in any of the company. Okay, so you have to say about your roles and responsibilities during the interview. Anybody have any questions on this? Any questions? So you have to thoroughly, pardon?
Nothing question. No questions.
Okay, you have thoroughly by heart this question, because this is the first question. So you will be facing during your interview. So if you are stuck in anywhere, then they will get some, some bad impact on the bad impact during the interview. So you should be very familiar with this question.
Ram, for 5+ experience people also the same roles and responsibilities. There is any other we have to add?
For 5+ experience, so instead of involved, okay, prepared.
Okay.
Because involved in the sense you just given some part. Like some test.
Okay.
The test manager will prepare. So you might provided your inputs very little, but here you are completely owned this preparation of the strategy. Okay. Similarly,
Okay.
rest all are common for irrespective of any experience.
Okay. And you told that the tools like Jira, HP, LM, and Bugzilla, these are the paid versions or free of cost we can download?
Basically, these all are licensed tools, not a open source tools.
Okay. Okay.
HPLM is a licensed tool. Jira is also licensed tool, but Jira is some part as licensed, some part as a open source. You can use only limited features.
Okay. Instead of that, anything is there for the practice purpose?
Practice purpose, basically you can see the videos in the YouTube. So all screens are available in the YouTube. Even for practice, we have to look into the other test management tools. There are n number of test management tools are available in the market. I will list down what are the open source tools which you can download yourself and play on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any questions on this? Okay. So then our next question. First, done with the first one. Next, moving to the second one. What is the second topic as per our curriculum? SDLC models, right? So SDLC models, yesterday we discussed what is SDLC model. What is the software development life cycle? I think you are not thoroughly following my notes.
Used by software, SDLC is a process used by software industry.
Software industry, what they're gonna do after that? It is a process, but what they wanna do by using this model? They're
So
going
we are
to
using that. We are using this model for designing, develop, and test the software.
Okay. So SDLC is basically used by the software industry to design, develop, and test the software. Okay. So what are the phases available in SDLC?
Requirement analysis.
Okay.
Requirement gathering analysis. Design, coding, testing,
And deployment.
and maintenance.
Okay.
Deployment and maintenance.
Okay. These all are the stages in SDLC model. So today we will going to discuss one of the SDLC model, that is waterfall model. Okay. Waterfall model. This is I mean, still, organizations are following this model. Okay. So the other name of this model is sequential model. Okay. The other name is sequential model. So organization can follow this model when requirements are clear. Okay. Organization can follow this model when requirements are clear. Anybody explain what is requirement? What is requirements?
Necessary information.
Yeah.
User needs.
Yeah, user needs, user requirement. I mean, we call it as a information or data or functionalities or futures or stories or epics. We call same terminology for the requirement. Okay. So when requirements are clear. Okay. So basically, we will explain it, before moving to the phases in waterfall model. So how a project, okay, I mean, what is the process to get a project by any company? Anybody knows? What is the process to get any project? I mean, to get a project by any company? Anybody know?
Sufficient developers, testers, and software.
No. I'm asking, what is the process to get a project? Let's say you wanted to develop a project. How do you get that project? What is the process to get a project? How to get a project from any client? So let's take here, client is our government of India. Okay. So government of India calls multiple companies for software bidding for proposal to develop a new software. Okay. You got my point? So our government of India calls multiple companies. So in that time, might be Wipro, TCS, Infosys, Value Momentum, some SCL. Those companies are attended for the bidding. Okay. So that who will be involving in that meeting? Most probably CEO of the company or someone from the higher management. Okay. They will be involved in that meeting. That meeting we call it as that initial meeting we call it as a kickoff meeting. Okay. Initial meeting we call it as a kickoff meeting. So let's take SCL got that project among the other competitors. Who are the competitors? Wipro, TCS, Infosys. So they all bid themselves, but SCL bidding was satisfied with the government of India. So finally SCL got that project. Okay. So after that, once SCL got that project from government of India, then the CEO or the higher management appoints or select project manager for that project. Okay. So CEO or project manager, CEO or some top high level management will appoint a project manager for that project to take care of all the activities. So that project manager is responsible to gather overall plan of the project, or we could say PIN. PIN is nothing but project of product initiation note. Okay. PIN is nothing but project of product initiation note. So PM will get project initiation note and send it to CEO or top level management. Okay, so this is what happens during the initial stage of to get a project. Okay, everybody is clear, or do you want me to explain it again?
It's clear.
It's clear, right?
Clear, clear.
Yeah, so that is out of our scope. Basically, we are not involving in that case how to bidding a project, how to get a project from client, and what are the necessary steps to take, and what kind of documentation is getting it from the client and share it to the top management. That is none of our business. But as as a process, we have to understand from the scratch. But yeah, once we are done with that initial process, the next stage is requirement gathering. Okay, requirement gathering. Next one, system design. Next, coding. Next, system testing. Next,
Maintenance.
system deployment. Next, system maintenance. Okay, so these all are the phases in SDLC. Sorry, in waterfall model. Okay, these all are the phases in waterfall model. Okay, so moving to the requirement analysis, this is the first step. So who will be involving in the requirement gathering or requirement analysis? ఎవరెవరు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవుతారు దీంట్లో? ఎనీబడి హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఐడియా? Who will be?
analyst.
Exactly, business analyst. Business analyst will gather all the information from the client. God, we don't have much time. Okay, so after this, I mean, meeting, we will. Could you please join again so that we will continue the session?
Okay, no problem. What is the time?
Okay.
Hopefully, the session is about to quit in within 10 minutes. After that, please join the same, meeting.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay.
So requirement gathering here. So who will be involving? Business analyst. Who else? System analyst and client. So what are the activities are performing in this stage? Em chestar deentlo. What they gonna do? So BA capture all the client requirements. The client ki em kavalo avanni vaadu క్యాప్చర్ చేస్తాడు. వాడి ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఏంటి, వాడి రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఏంటి, వాడి కండిషన్స్ ఏంటి, ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎలాగుంది, ప్రతిదీ. తర్వాత ఇన్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ గ్యాదరింగ్ వాట్ ఈ బిజినెస్ అనలిస్ట్ క్యాప్చర్ ఆల్ ద క్లయింట్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్. వాట్ ఎల్స్? brainstorm and walk through to understand the requirements. So they will conduct multiple meetings to brainstorm themselves, the functionalities, and walk through each and every functionality to understand much better. Okay, so they will conduct multiple meetings with clients to understand the requirements, getting more clear. Okay, next, brainstorm and walk through to understand the requirements. The next one, conduct requirement. See, everything is depends on the requirements only. Requirement feasibility test to ensure that requirements are testable or not. Okay, so here in the requirement gathering, business analyst, system analyst, and client will be involving. So BA will capture all the requirements from client, and brainstorm and walk through to understand the requirement and conduct multiple requirement tests to ensure that the requirements are clear or not. These all are comes under requirement gathering. So once they are done with this, what is the outcome from this phase? What is the outcome?
Documentation.
Yes, documentation, because they documented everything. That we call it as a requirement understanding document, that we call it as a RUD. Okay, requirement understanding documentation. So that is the outcome from this phase, requirement gathering. The next one, system design. What is system design? Who will be involving in system design? Basically, let's take example of movie. So initially what they're gonna do, they will be work out on the story creation, story narration, everything. Once story is finalized, then they are planning to come up with some designs. Hero should be looks like this, heroine should be looks like this movie should shoot in some village background or some city background. Okay, similarly, even any project, once the requirements are clear, then we should come up with some designs, some kind of pictorial representation, some flow charts, some UML diagrams, so that it can be very easily understandable to the developers or testers. Okay, so just a small thing, if I provide one page of matter in one side and another side, if I show the same matter in terms of some pictorial representation, some in terms of some flow chart or diagram, which one is better to understand?
Flowchart.
Exactly. So flowchart, it's direct you from one way to another way. So might be the entire context or text, which takes some time to understand, but flowchart, it easily registered into your brain. Okay, so that is why everywhere we have to design the project as per the requirement. Here, who will be involving? Architect, some architect, even developers and project managers. Okay, so what they're going to do, what are the activities in system design? Just say few activities based on the requirements. So here the outcome of each phase is input to the next phase. Okay, here the outcome is requirement understanding document. This document is the input to the system design. So based on this requirement document, okay, requirement document, what we gonna do? Create the design document. Design document contains two types, that is two types. What are those two? High level documentation and low level documentation. Okay, next, under system design, we have to capture all hardware and software requirements. That means, so this project, which technology is fit into it, which technology is good to use this, whether Java is good or .NET is good or some Python is good or Perl is good. So we have to identify the software and hardware requirements in the system design phase along with the high level and low level documentation. Okay, what is the outcome from this phase? Outcome is nothing but result. Obviously, high level documentation and low level documentation. Okay, next portion, next phase is coding. Who will be involved in coding? Any idea?
Developers.
Exactly.
Developers always.
Always developer. Sometimes project manager. Their development project manager. So what are the activities comes under this coding phase? What are their roles?
Designing coding,
Yeah, as per the design, as per the high level and low level design, they will, what they're going to do? They will create the programs.
Exactly.
What else? What they're going to do? Just perform unit testing of the code. Unit testing is nothing but individual components they develop together. Next, integrate the individual components, right? So that is the developers can do in this phase. Okay, what is the outcome? Obviously, programs are code, unit test cases, and results. This is the outcome of coding. Okay, next phase is system testing. What is system testing? I think it's about to close our session, so please join in through same link.